All right, folks, we're back. Just a quick preview of the bracket screen here, if you haven't seen. This is right around where we're at. Sadly, Joxy does die. Or edit command brackets. And now we're moving on to the winner's match. Impact and Hurricane. In fact, there's the beeps. We'll hop into it in just a second. First map's going to be Catalyst, but the winner of this series will move on to not the round of 8, but the round of 16. This group is really far behind the other groups, and unfortunately, this had a lot to do with scheduling. So, there are 2 other players waiting from Europe that already did play their round of 32. I think one was, I want to say Denver? Hang on, actually, let me look this up real quick. Yeah, Denver and Zanster, so 2 Zerg players are sitting in the round of 16 waiting for their 2 opponents here, which will play out on Sunday. But thank you very much to Skoo81321 for that Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Base Trade Brigade. Spawning here in the top left, we've got the blue Protoss, Hurricane.
In the bottom right, as the green Zerg is Impact.
So even in ZVP, I think general complaints are before the late game, this match is very Protoss favored. After the late game, it's very Zerg favored, which is kind of funny. It's a bit of a role reversal from what it was pre-patch.
Yeah, it absolutely is. No one ever really wanted to say that like late game Protoss was unbeatable because you had, you know, for instance, Mass Infestors really turning it around. So hey, maybe give it another month on the old patch, it actually would be like it is right now, where the Zerg was overpowered late game. But for the time that we had the patch, most of the late game PvZs, it was Protoss favored. Now it's completely different. Infestarians are even better, making Infestors even better. Sure, Fungal no longer roots, but it's a wider angle, or wider net rather. Geometry, right? It's a wider net, so it helps like catch interceptors better, for instance. And it does seem to be overall just a better tool to have. And then Vipers also deal more damage to the parasitic bomb, back to what it used to be years ago.
So double the is from 60 to 120. I think the Infestarians are for me what appeal the most though out of the changes, and I want to see cool use out of them, but we'll see where this goes. Lurkers are also looking pretty freaking good right now. I don't know if Melty's still around. You want to link that clip from Penguin's stream, but Lurkers looking like they could be pretty nasty. Also, we got a question in the chat from Frostthorn saying, which BTTV tournaments have open signups? The answer is most of them. This tournament had a qualifier that was open, but now we're in group stages. Weekly, the Corsair Cups are open to everybody and anybody. That's a European-based one. And then BTSL and the Alima League are both open signups for Korean tournaments. You can be a North American Bronze Leaguer, and you can still sign up and try and fight against Innovation. Really what you feel like trying to play. Thank you very much to Completist for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Glad to have you joining us. Also, we're getting close to 100 follows for the stream, which would make me just absolutely happy. So guys, if you haven't slapped that follow button yet, do me a favor and please do. We're at 86 new followers for this stream.
That'd be cool.
Also, I'll give out another sub. So this is going to be a riddle you guys will need to solve, and I will give it to the first person, okay? This is going to be a really tough question. See if you can figure it out.
Oh, God.
What color is the Little Red Schoolhouse? I will...
Are you serious?
I will gift a sub to the first person who answers.
There are more difficult ones than that one, which I know what you're going for.
This also wasn't meant to be a difficult one. There we go. First person coming in. TNGC Princess. Princes. Do you have a good one? Yo, I'll gift another sub if you got a riddle you want to try and give chat.
I can't think of a better one right now, but if I was going to prep it, you know, I'd choose a different one.
But
it's like, what do you put in a toaster? Toast.
What do cows drink?
Milk. No.
Actually, there's that the one that did get me every time I heard it for the first few times is that whole one about like the plane crashes in between the border of like this state and that state. So where do you bury the survivors? It's like
you don't bury the survivors. Oh, yeah. I get it. I like the one that's like every time you tell the joke and at the end they don't realize that the mother was the doctor. You could be like sexist.
Women can be doctors too, you know.
Yeah, that one does, like, that one's got me a couple of times though, to be honest. I keep forgetting the joke exists and then getting got, and I'm like, oh no, the worst thing possible. Anyways, what is happening in this game while we're telling jokes? Not much. Not much. Hurricane goes for the actually gateway expand, I suppose. Like third base, not off of a Stargate, not off of a Robo, but just off of gateways and Forge. It's actually a very old way of expanding. Because it's not even paired up with like an Adept run by or anything. It's just sentries. Interesting.
Oh, actually, I just remembered one I was told a while ago. I'll gift this up for this one if anyone, because you guys might know this one. But I want to see if you know this one too.
Okay.
What is one thing you can work on that you can never ever finish?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'll give the answer at the end of the game because I want to see if anyone in chat gets it too. But all right, Spire Play is actually on the way for Impact, which I'm wondering how much this week. People saying red. I'm wondering how much he's gonna put into the Spire here, but might not matter. Hurricane's Sentry count is actually, I didn't even realize how high it was.
I was gonna say life for yourself, but I thought it'd be more clever than that.
No, it's not. Those aren't the answers.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So yeah, I noted like he did a Sentry expand basically, which is a very old school way of playing. Sentries, of course, fell out of the matchup with Legacy of the Void, Ravagers, and all that, but
it's kind of
Hurricane brought
almost.
It back. Almost.
This is the recall. Oh, I love the recall to get out of here. He's able to bleed out one Sentry for it. Was that worth the kills? Probably not, but it was a cool move, and I love seeing cool new moves.
Yeah. Of course, the benefit is not that a Sentry push. If there's Immortals with it, then that's actually a very powerful push. But with just Sentries, it's more about later on having all those force fields.
By the way, I'm sure a lot of people probably Googled the riddle. I'm sure the answer's out there, but Luminosity got it, actually. The answer is your autobiography.
You can work on but never finish?
Yeah, you can't write about your death.
I'm pretty sure, but people, don't they make autobiographies all the time without including your death? Like, just like my life up until this point? Isn't that still an autobiography?
I don't know. Dude, this is
that what the auto is for?
Dog, this is like a riddle from high school. If this has been like redefined, I don't fucking know.
Well, because I was always confused because there's autobiographies and there's biographies. Like, what was ever the difference?
I've always thought an autobiography is supposed to be your whole life, not just like part of it.
See, if that's the difference, then the joke still works. But I always thought it was just, technical, name as opposed to the casual name. I don't know.
I guess like you could technically write about it, like if you're planning to commit suicide, detail the suicide.
You could write like
something like
Carrie Fisher, where she's like, "If I die, tell everyone that I was strangled to death by my own bra in space."
Yeah, that was, man, hell of a way to go. I didn't care about Carrie Fisher until like the last 5 years, and she's like really awesome. Learning about all the stuff she did, even outside of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But all right, this attack of the main with the mutas is gonna be pretty good. Stalker's still technically better at dealing with these now, but they don't have blink yet. There wasn't that many of them, so this ends up being a bit of a problem. And Hurricane bleeds out, and it still hasn't even actually effectively cleaned this up. If there was a single shield battery good to go, which is in the process of being built now, this wouldn't have been a problem at all.
Well, this really wasn't as much of a problem as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I was bringing up that it was a pretty good distraction because it looked like we had a really big attack mounting for the right side of the map, but looks like that's not going to be the case. A lot of force fields still left over from the early game, but I love that we got a Lurker Den coming up. Not a lot of Zerg changes to touch on early on, but if those Lurkers come into play, we'll certainly talk about those.
Oopsie poops, just let the Lings right in. Of course, the Lings out here, they don't get a wrap around the arm. They have speed. As speed kicked in, the forces have already been put down. Colossus doing a fair job against it. Muta's cleaned up without much damage done. So far, Hurricane's holding really well.
Yeah, these force fields have been such a good counter to what I thought. Like, the sentries seem silly and almost cheesy, but these have actually been super effective. Almost none of the Baneleys got to connect to anything.
It does make a lot of sense. I mean, this is one of the reasons they did buff the Colossus, too, is they wanted something to deal with Ling, Baneling, Hydra a little bit better early on. Stalkers are also better in general, not just against armored, so that is contributing as well. But that makes sense that it would go back to Sentry Colossus. The fear was that Roach Ravager, I suppose, would come back, right? Or some kind of dynamic like that. But I like it. This is smart by Hurricane, and it's worked out really well.
Well, for now. So this is where the game starts taking that next step. We get to late game, further deeper into the game, and Zerg received all of their buffs for their late game units, not really their mid to early game. Like these Hydras, these Lings, these Corruptors even, they're all the same. None of this changed with patch 4.0. Only the Protoss units did. But I really want to see Lurkers, because Lurkers have this really disgusting speed buff now that I really want to talk about, but only if we actually see it being researched, so just put a pause on that for the time being. Attack over here, it's not going to go so well. Hydras, Lings, these will still deal with Stalkers. Cool recall.
Recall takes such a long time on the front lines. That's supposed to be the real drawback, and the 2-minute global cooldown. You saw a lot of Stalkers did go down. Maybe not the get out of jail free card that Hurricane's been hoping for, because he lost 2 sentries in the first recall and like 4 Stalkers just there.
Poor Saffron's having like a midlife crisis, by the way, with this sub.
In there. That's a lot of zealots. Hurricane is establishing a 4th base, but if he lost all these and didn't get the hatchery, it might have been really bad call, but he does grab the hatchery.
Oh, we do have Lurkers, but I don't believe that they went for the upgrade yet, so these are still slow-moving Lurkers, but the speed on the Lurkers are really ridiculous, so we see that come into play. But Disruptor's also coming out, which will be... they've been changed, but not by a whole lot, in terms of the way they'll interact with the army.
So first of all, the Lurker upgrade is on Hive, so it's a little difficult to get to.
Oh, is it Hive? I thought it was Lair. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Hive. Maybe they changed it, but it doesn't matter, actually. Hurricane gets demolished. Armies from both sides, sentries, killed before they really get a lot done, and the Disruptor not helping. The Disruptor, to be very technical, because someone called out on me yesterday, it's the center of the hit, like the center of the attack is when it explodes, when it hits something.
Look, yeah.
It's so, technical, man. Whatever hits first.
You don't get to pick the hit anymore, which is what I think is the key thing.
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
But okay, Impact. Impact takes game 1. I love so much of what he did. Displaying a huge plethora of units, from Lings to Roaches to Banelings to Hydras to Corruptors to Mutas to Lurkers. Like, he really went for it all, and it worked out very well for him. But yeah, Hurricane's opening attack was cool, but I think... I'm trying to think, like, maybe that works better on a different map, because that was a really wide area. Trying to cover that many force fields to protect the pylons seemed unlikely.
That's highly possible. I would look at that game and more blame Hurricane's push-outs, not the first sentry one, which I didn't really like, but I don't think it was that bad. I think the second one with the Stalkers, it was at a pretty pivotal moment. He didn't have a huge bank. He didn't have Storm. His Colossus count was still pretty low. He's transitioning into Disruptors. That wasn't a time to tell the Zerg, hey, my army's not that big, which I feel that's what it did. Impact was like, oh, okay, it's not that scary. I'm going to go for it. And just good positioning from Impact too.
Alright, I want to give away another sub. I need you to think of a good riddle, or Google one at least. But here's one thing I'll do. You're gonna get timed out for this, okay? This is like, you gotta take a step back to move forward. The first person to link me to Zombie Grub's Twitter, I'll give a sub to.
Okay.
But non-subs will get timed out for links, so a lot of people are about to get purged from chat. Like, I really like the sub gifting system, though. It makes it a little more fun. I get to do more things. People Googled your link, by the way. They couldn't just go to Twitter. So here, you can make the judgment call. Is a Google link good enough? I feel like they need to just link the Twitter.
They should just link the Twitter. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Casblerakres. I can't say that name. I'm glad I'm gifting you a sub, so I don't have to shout you out.
I think like some of these riddles are pretty good. I wonder if this will actually trick anyone. I mean, your did, so maybe this one will.
Here, wait. Before you do, let me just get caught up with Wired1, who just subbed for 34 months in a row to say new patch is not working for me. I'm Terran. Ooh. Sorry to hear that, man. Also, before we get to Zombie Grub's riddle, Saffro was kind of having some difficulties figuring things out. Just send us a message here on Twitch with your request, guy. We'll get you that form to fill out. Don't you worry.
Sorry.
Sorry, what were you giggling at?
Just one of these riddles is really dumb.
Okay, well, let's do the intro, so we'll get to the riddle and do another giveaway, guys. So Splunny here in the bottom left side. He's up 1-0 with a command in game 1. It's Impact.
In the top right, as the red Protoss, he is Hurricane. Some of these are so good. This one I feel like is gonna really catch people off guard though, alright? You ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Throw away the outside and cook the inside. Then eat the outside and throw away the inside. What is it?
Wait, can you say it again but slower?
Cook. Throw away the outside, cook the inside, eat the outside, and throw away the inside. What is it?
Huh. I want to say like a fish or something. I don't know, man.
Someone got kind of close, but not close enough. It's not eggs.
Well, if no one gets the answer in chat, I'll leave it on you to keep an eye on chat and figure it out. But
I think Chaos Evoker got it. An ear of corn.
Sorry, who was this?
Corn on the cob, to be exact. Chaos Evoker. I'm going to give it to him for ear of corn.
Nice. All right. Well, congratulations on your gifted sub.
So just the one that I couldn't like, but not laugh at, right? Like, what is the longest word in the dictionary?
Longest?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my answer.
Oh, no. It's miles, because there's a mile between each S.
That is... that is like grade school stupid, but I love it. That's awesome. Alright, well, as far as openings go, nothing too crazy out of Impact. Blackpink has turned out to be a fairly standard map, too. We're not seeing anything too ridiculous out of it. There's no weird terrain problems in the middle of the map, no odd wallings, like, third bases are pretty standard, so I think that Hurricane, if he doesn't do something weird and experimental, sure, this map should be fine for him. There's no inherent advantage, I feel.
No, Blackpink's actually really quite standard. There were a lot of concerns, I think, about the third base when it was first released as a you know, an image, but it didn't end up really mattering. Maybe that was Neon Violet Square. No, I think it was definitely Blackpink. Anyways, all these maps seem to be really quite decent. It catered to a bunch of different styles, but Hurricane specifically, his style, which it seems to be that he's going for again, opening with a sentry, immediately following up with another one. That's interesting. That's going to be a curious, like, little... Is it going to be the new trend? Is this what Protoss are going to do? I think when Zest played versus Zerg, he just went kind of standard Immortal Adept Charge Odd or something like that. I don't remember, actually. But not Mass Sentry, I'm pretty sure.
Is this map the worst TLMC winner ever? Says Eurovax. Did you forget about Dawson Station? Like, hello?
I mean, why would this be the worst TLMC winner?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's been so many clear early worse ones.
I'm always, like, suspicious, honestly, when people start, like, really ragging on one map in particular, because I'm like, are you part of the map-making community? You guys hate each other. Yeah,
that shit's about as toxic as the Brood War community, honestly. But hey, someone asked this, and I'm not sure if it's a valid question. Maybe you're a newbie to the game, free to play and all that. But for those who don't know why you stopped shooting the Overlord, this little brick here, this is high ground vision, so Hurricane actually cannot see the Overlord, even though the Overlord can see Hurricane. Some annoying little tricks. Retreats right back to it. I want this hallucinated sentry or a Phoenix or something just so you can chase it down.
Yeah, Mothership Core. Oh yeah, I guess that's a side benefit I hadn't thought about. But no Mothership Core, you can actually keep the Overlord there for a long time.
Yeah, at least longer than you could ever in the past. But I still think it's not too hard to, yeah, if you're really desperate about removing vision, hallucinate a Phoenix, or you'll have a Warp Prism come out at a timing. Shield battery's going down pretty quick here. This is good to see. I really don't know that 1 is enough to cut it in terms of an absolute defense. 2 seems to be really good, and 3 is the magic number to locking down a lot of these bases. But luckily, Impact's kind of just going for harass. Like, Overlord drops and no real direct attacks to this third, so Army is out of position, probably going to need to be recalled. This actually looks really bad for Hurricane, because those are Baneling drops coming in. These aren't Zergling drops. These are Zergling drops. These are Baneling drops.
I was gonna say, if it was only Banelings, funnily enough, it's better to just not recall if you're attacking already, but if it's Lings too, then you might want to recall.
Oh, Bane on top of the sentries was a really clever move.
Clever.
Doesn't quite get all of them, but good moves nonetheless. I think the spine should hold on, and while this goes off, of course, Banelings are going to drop on top of the probes. I love the control there. If he had done another Bane drop where he did, he would have gotten almost no probes for it. if the Lings dart down to the natural instead of staying here in the main, he would have picked up like 7 more probes probably, but 12 worker kills while defending at home, not bad for Impact so far.
Yeah. Yeah, without a Warp Prism, I don't think Hurricane can continue this attack. He would have had to recall 5-10 seconds ago. This is when it went really poorly for him.
Yeah, cleans up the sentries real nice like. Still has drop overlords he may be able to use again later, so he actually retreats that out to safety instead of leaving there. I like that a lot. Also, I really like Bradford Oddfellow coming back for 9 months in a row, saying 9 months hype. Glad to have you back, man.
I really like that he did bailing drops against the sentries. He saw how many sentries were made. He knew that it would be a good move. And then on top of that, he did add on roaches. And this is what I was talking about kind of with like sentries falling out of favor. Adepts were doing damage. Adepts were, you know, more dependable. Even like a early like Warp Prism with the Archons, right? More dependable. Sentries are flimsy units that die to bailing drops or aren't useful because corrosive bios kill their force fields. And doing both, I think Impact has really got a handle on Hurricane.
Bailey's trying to get in here. Roach is going to try and pick off the sentries too. Once the force field wears off, the Bailey's might get to the probe line, but that's a maybe. There's a lot more force fields where that came from. This Overlord also gets picked off, and so does his cargo, so unfortunately, Impact's attacks on both sides have been deflected, and Hurricane finally finds a good bit of ground to stand on this game.
Ooh, going for a follow-up blink attack. He was distracted from this, I believe, last game because of the mutas, and then, you know, he tried to get to Colossus. No, excuse me. So didn't actually go for it, but I was wondering if this type of attack, Blink Stalker all in, 3 bases most likely, would be really powerful with the, you know, new buff that Blink Stalker's got. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Since he lost so many sentries, I gotta imagine it's less powerful. He's got less sentries right now. He had to spend more gas in replacing them, etc., etc. But Impact, he went for a lot of different tech and choices here. So his economy, it's good, but it wasn't fantastic for a long time. And he has this Spire that's wrapped up a lot of minerals and gas into it.
Not to mention the dedication of what's going to come out of it will also take a lot of minerals and gas.
Impact's... I don't mind, like... Attacking and seeing what the composition looks like. He can't actually win an attack if he goes for it. It'd be suicide. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll be suicide. He's gonna go for it anyways. Seems questionable to me.
He actually gets through the wall, but not much further than that. Gonna stop dead in his tracks here at the ramp. He'll pick up a couple of army unit kills, but this wasn't exactly Banelings connecting to the mineral lines like I think Impact had hoped. Still though, actually, these trades are not too bad.
Suppose not, and it did draw the army back. Hurricane didn't want to, but then realized he had to, so it's a bit awkward. Despite getting that proxy gateway, he's not used it yet, and Impact's getting time to get to mutas.
I see another candidate here for a gifted sub, because the Proud Alum actually cheered us a fair few bits that one time he was on stream. So, the Proud Alum, please allow me to say thank you with a subscription.
No. That's a lot of stalkers being warped in. We have a very tough hold for Impact. He might have gotten to mutas, but they haven't done damage yet. And up against Blink Stalkers with 1-1, they're just not going to be that helpful. He really wanted a lot more just base units, Roach, Ravager, Lake.
That force field was really nice, too. Hallucinated Colossus are funny because he doesn't have detection. He'll waste auto attacks, and Baneling's actually off on the Colossus there.
Yeah, but, I mean, they still get a bit of a wraparound. All the sentries get demolished. And Impact, it's still going to be a little tough. Blink Stalkers can add up really quickly. But with a drone pool, and he can afford to lose a couple of drones, I think he still has the well, not the momentum, he has the defense. Possibly, yeah.
It's looking like it. With continuing to pour army units in, he doesn't need to worry about droning whatsoever, whereas Hurricane, this one actually could use some workers, and with the mutas getting in here, it's going to get a little bit more nasty, although we'll watch the shield battery probably let nothing die for the first few seconds.
Yeah, a little bit.
Shield battery's so cool. But it does run out of juice, so now the mutas will start getting some of the kills.
Yeah, Hurricane had a bunch of stalkers in the natural already, I suppose, that took away from the front lines. They were actually, I would say, desperately needed on the front lines. And this attack, this follow-up attack, I don't believe it's going to work, even with a couple more force fields.
Mutas are also still running around. Impact has really seized control of the game through that one defensive fight. I thought with the force fields and the Colossus soaking all the hits, that Impact was just going to end up wasting all of his army, but not how that played out. And while this goes on, 5th base gets established.
Yeah, I really wonder what exactly went wrong. Like, multiple things went wrong, I suppose. The sentries being left behind, of course, when the Stalker had to blink back. Perhaps the terrain, because it was a little disjointed with that thing in the middle of the 3rd base. Maybe that worked against him, too. I thought he had a good army supply. I thought he had a good army with mass blink soccer force fields, but it just didn't really look that way.
That feel when you realize terrain is more prevalent than Terran in the tournaments.
Oh. But he's still going to try to force the issue here. Impact smartly goes behind the army, so the force fields don't do nearly enough.
Corsair bombs don't land, but he'll take out the sentries again. Expensive losses for Hurricane.
I definitely want to blame the force fields now that I see them go down in almost the exact same location. There weren't enough of time at all. But even in the first fight, they didn't entirely cut off the Banelings from rolling in. GG.
Impact takes a 2-0 lead now. But I should mention, for any of Hurricane or the Protoss fans out there, this isn't necessarily bad news. This is the winner's match. So the loser goes to fight the finals and still has a chance. But the winner gets out of the group and moves on to the round of 16. It's looking like it's going to be Impact at this rate. Regardless, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. People talk about my shirt once again. It's not wrinkly. Deal with it. But it's also not bringing to 10K viewers. But we are pulling in 3K people this early with no front page hype and no hosting. I'll take it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys here in 2 minutes. All right, a brand new map that some of you may have not seen before, but we got a little peek at yesterday through PvP. So I'm pretty curious to see what it looks like for this PvZ. Spawning in the top left, last time he played, he did bring it back from an 0-2, so maybe he can do it again. But we do have the red Protoss Hurricane.
In the top right as the green Zerg Impact.
Alright, so battle for the board. A quick tour of the map, guys. It looks really weird because your main base has 2 different pathways out. One leads down a very skinny back hallway to a gold base, which is initially kept safe by some rocks. Obviously could be opened up later. If you take the alternative route, which is your more natural inclined base, then you have a pretty regular map outside of this. Just a couple of wider chokes, I suppose. But this over here, for example, you can't cut through the middle. You got to take these up windy roads and paths, and I kind of referenced before, I'll bring it up again, this map reminds me of Arena in a lot of ways because of the way the pathways work. Also, these are some pretty unique buildings. I don't think I've seen these textures before.
Yeah, I never really paid attention, but I think you're right. Some I've seen them. Of course, a lot of boardwalk, which is why it's Battle of the Boardwalk. The middle of the map is so awkward. It's actually quite confusing how to actually, where to take engagements. You go through the middle, potentially get fungal, potentially get Baneling Bomb, like something like that. Or do you go across the other pathways, which are still pretty choky? So as big as the map is, there's no one large concavable area until you get to your opponent's side of the map. Then it's a little bit better.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing about the map though that's kind of interesting is I do believe this is a no Terran flying building map, so to speak. I don't see any spots where you could... Maybe down here in the direct center, actually. I take that back. So maybe a barracks here.
Yeah, I think a barracks would fit. Maybe not a command center. I really was wondering what you were talking about, but I agree, yeah. Hurricane goes for the gold base here. I think this is something that's going to be more awarded to the non-Zergs. Because if a Zerg does this, which totally can, that's when War Prism or Medivacs really start to be a bother. Like, that gold base is so far away. But until Impact breaks down the rocks on the bottom side of the map, he doesn't actually have access there. I suppose Overlord drops, but that's a very tiny amount of units.
The reason I think it's bad for Zerg too is I'm just thinking about, can you imagine trying to walk a queen from your main to your natural? No creep. Feels bad, man.
They can just wait for the queen at the hatchery they spill. It might be a third or fourth base, ones you actually have an established game going on, but I don't know about a natural for Zerg. Whoopsie. Yeah,
I agree. I like the way Impact's expanding and playing this out much better. Thank you very much to Anton Caridian for the 43-month resub. Someone's asking, what is TING? And I guess we haven't really done it justice here in the winners match. So quick shout outs to the sponsors of the tournament, because TING is a US-only mobile phone service. They're pretty good if you're somebody who's around Wi-Fi, watching streams all the time, so it's a perfect marketing ploy to do a tournament on Twitch. They save you money each month by presenting really cheap phone alternatives. So seriously, phone bills on Ting are usually like $25 or less a month. That's why they give you $25 in credit if you go to bttv.ting.com. So you can basically try a month of Ting for free. But hey, maybe you've got a really good phone plan and you get no interest in using Ting at all. That's fine. You can still go to their store, use that $25 in credit to basically get a discount on a new iPhone or something. Like, they've got a lot of cool selection and it's not outdated phones at all. So bttv.ting.com, definitely worth checking out.
For sure, for sure. I use it. A lot of gateways coming down here. Hurricane using the gold base power to supplement a really large all-in, looks like.
Forget what I said about Terran floating. I didn't realize you could actually push past these rocks to go to the straight corner of the map. So,
oh, well, that's definitely a good float location.
yeah, forget what I said earlier, guys. This is a stupid map.
Well, this push does remind me a lot about Arena. You just brought that up, in that it's kind of taking advantage of a very choky position, right? Arena had the one thing down the middle and then another path way, way far away. Pretty similar to Battle of the Boardwalk, although the middle ramp or the middle choke is a lot longer to get to, and there's multiple other pathways around this army. It still is abusing force fields on a choke, and Impact is going to have to wait in a concave defensively to actually hold on here.
Yeah, he knew what was coming too. That Overlord's been sitting on top of the gateways, but it still doesn't make it any easier to deal with. No Ravagers to break these force fields, only Roaches to fight. Charge lots are not an option here. It's just regular Zealots, but they can still soak a lot of hits. Spinecar's going to finish up. This will help out a bit.
Yeah, it will. The Immortal didn't get a lot of shots off on it. Now focusing it down, not too helpful. But I was looking at that, and I was like, if Ravagers were already in play, this would have been maybe an even easy hold for Impact, but too late to the Ravagers.
He tries to focus down the eggs before they hatch, but a couple of them will basically heal to full in doing this. Hits those sentries, gets the Observer too. Now the Immortal's in danger. A couple drone pulls might just be the difference of victory and defeat.
Wow, that instantly changed in a second there. Everything getting hit by the Corrosive Biles. A couple Lingles got in and killed a couple of probes.
Yeah, there's Overlord.
Holds, which I really didn't think was going to happen.
Problem is, though, he holds for now. It's still not over. Next round comes in. He tried to snipe off that Warp Prism. I love the Corrosive Biles being put to good use, but now that Immortal's going to have its barrier back up in about 20 seconds or so. Where the... Oh, did he bring more... I was like, where are the links he had? He's missing all that buffer, but it's because he took them across the map to go for an attack down here.
Yeah, I mean, it was still... The Immortal makes it so powerful with the Warp Prism Micro. If he was able to take either one out, this is something that doesn't snowball, perhaps, but...
GG.
It does.
Wow,
Held
okay.
temporarily.
Hurricane not going to go down without a fight, puts 1 point on the board and stands his ground. And now we'll go to game 4. There is still one best of 5 left behind this, guys. The winner of this, as I mentioned before, will move on to the round of 16. The loser will fight Keen in a final match.
It's actually Impact's choice. So weird.
What?
The map was Impact's choice, but it was Hurricane that abused it.
Oh, I see what you mean. I was like, it's not loser's pick, but yeah, 3 vetoes. So Ascension Ire coming up next. Okay, I have an intro for this one. I feel like it's really weird not playing intros for a lot of these maps, but it's also less stressful, so I'm not sure if I like it or not. Yo, where are all your kitty cats today, man?
Well, Nugget's been behind me for a while, right?
Like, how everyone thinks I hired you for you being a girl. I only hired you for your cats. Like, if you're not going to show your cats on stream so we can bait people into watching the stream, what good are you? I mean, honestly.
Well, I mean, I could...
Can you at least poke Nugget? She looks... Just give her a poke. Sorry, guys. I don't have a cat anymore because she lives with my parents, so I have to live by proxy through Zombie Grubs. And Nugget is so cute. All right, Ascension Ire. See you guys in game. All right, we're back and getting into game number 4. Score is 2-1. Unfortunately, this fella's still in his last life, but he seems to be good at recovery for the first best of 5, and now this one too. We'll see if we can keep the momentum rolling. In the bottom right, it's the red Protoss Hurricane.
In the top left, as the green Zerg, it's Impact.
Hard Revenge in chat says he's really excited for the black pink intro. I'm just like, everyone was really expecting me to use a Blackpink song for it and keep the K-pop theme running. I think I'm just gonna make that the worst, lamest intro of all time. Let's grab some like old Western country music.
I mean, if you want to have a terrible intro, that's on you. That's fine.
Like, what's the worst music? I'll get some Yoko Ono is what I'll do. That'll be the background track for that map.
You know, for me too, is like, I'm actually not even that on board the hype train for Blackpink intro either. I think it's funny when you have K-pop intros because the Catalan one was like really well done and really funny, but I don't actually like Blackpink that much. So, and their music videos aren't stupid, crazy, weird like Orange Caramel. They're just kind of like edgy teen wear weird.
I'll say, look, all I know about K-pop is that the women dress really like, not even like provocatively or disgusting, like they're just sexy. They're like they're well dressed. It's unique styles. I like it.
You might feel differently about Blackpink. Unique is certainly a word for how they dress in their videos, but it's like they're trying to be like really like cool, chic. Look at me wearing like fishnets on top of like zipper jeans, like that type of shit.
So Final Fantasy,
I don't know.
Got it.
A little bit, yeah. Like trash Final Fantasy is how I would put it.
No man should wear that many zippers. Thank you, by the way, Dale Bennick, for the 12-month resub. Welcome back for 1 full year, and now you will be qualified to get a part 2. Make sure to send us a message here on the channel, not a whisper, but a direct message through the messaging system, so that we can get you a form to fill out a little bit later. Also, we've done riddles, we've done other things. We've actually given away $80 worth of subs today, and I want to give away a couple more, guys. So here's my plan. Because I got to recoup some of these losses a little bit, right? So here's the deal. The next 3 people, and this will apply to the end of stream because I don't expect people to jump on this, but the next 3 people to cheer 100 bits or more, I will reward with a gifted sub to.
Cool. Good deal.
Oh, he's really going to find this. Okay, well, Impact was being really diligent. He was looking around the map anyways. Well, this doesn't work if you're already subbed. I guess I'll let Diet Soda pick someone in chat to elect for a gifted sub.
Diet Soda, please.
So this is kind of cool, though. The Twilight Council is going to get canceled straight up. You can't use it for anything, but it was going to be a nice way to, like... I don't know, if he had gotten away with it and maybe even paired up with a Dark Shrine, maybe this could have been really cool and bad. Man, Greyhawk, you guys who are already the subs are the ones cheering the bits. Doesn't work. All right.
You guys are doing it wrong.
Greyhawk, I'll let you pick somebody in chat. There we go. Master Cashier, there's one of them. Let's get this guy up a sub. Oh, nice like. By the way,
very good.
I only picked 100 as the arbitrary number for bits because it's the lowest amount possible to set off the alert to let us know that you cheered bits.
So Hurricane, unfortunate, his build does not work out here. Impact now retaliating with an Overlord drop into the main base.
Well,
Oracle is going to pop out in time.
It's funny you call it retaliation because really, like, this has been Impact's like determinate move. I think for pretty much ever.
Diet Soda gifted Gizmodget, so didn't even need you involved in this.
Oh, cool. And then Bars and Bolts comes in with 100 bits. That's another gifted sub. All right. I love this. I love this whole sub gifting thing, man. I've been so stoked on this since they announced it.
Oh, boy. Oracle does have to pop its energy for this. That sucks.
To be clear, by the way, guys, I'm much happier spending like $80 on gifting subs than $80 on the mobile games that I usually spend it on anyways.
Oh, man. I've been playing a mobile game recently.
Oh, which one?
Lords Mobile.
Lords. I think I've seen a couple of people promo that one.
Yeah.
Nikki does that one.
Yep. I mean, it's not like super addicting, but it's something. I've never really done mobile games before.
They're kind of nice for just like, okay, I can't quite sleep. I'm in bed. What can I do? I don't want to get up. Ah, my phone.
Yeah. They always give you like bonuses for like logging in every day. Ah.
Oh no. I think I've gotten security blocked again trying to give Zartov a gifted sub. I'll look into that after this game. But it's on my mind. Lings are, of course, trying to do what they can. Sentries, force fields, all of this headache.
It is just this army, though, so while Impact didn't grab as many sentries as he was hoping for, he also didn't really worry about it a lot. He made a lot of drones before making about 12 Hydras, so he's looking pretty good on the economy.
Oh. This may actually be a bit more serious than I thought it was. It's not Twitch blocking me, it's my credit card blocking me. I'll put the camera on you for a second if that's cool, just so I can check my emails real quick.
Okay. So, Hurricane, at least he lives with this little army in the middle of the map. It's very, like, Wings of Liberty, Art of the Swarm or something. I'm just getting such deja vu. Not Legacy of the Void, basically. Sentries being a main part of the army. Quay. Going into Robotics Bay, possibly double Colossus, Link, Impact, going for Link Baneling Hydra. Is looking to simply find an opportunity to roll in before the Colossus count grows too large. Also grabbing a 4th base.
Oh, I have to enter a security code, which was apparently incorrect. All right, cool.
Alrighty then.
Twitch is just like, you're being too generous. We need you to slow your roll, kid.
I guess it's pretty suspicious to see a bunch of $5 transactions.
Yeah, especially was like 20 of them in a row. But okay, that should go through. I think I got it now. Hopefully. All right, where's Zartov? I gotta start over again now.
Okay. Well, we have an Infestation Pit and a Baneland that's only just being added on. I assumed he had it. He had +1, but no, just Hydras, really. So no Baneling drops, which would have been excellent in this scenario against all of these sentries all bulked up like that. Ah, well. The Hydras do have their upgrade, but not. They're sometimes lacking the high ground vision. Finally grabbing it again with the other wrapping around. Triple shield batteries, keeping some of these sentries alive a lot longer. But they are starting to run out of force fields and soon will be dead weight. Shield battery is also being targeted down. He's not, doesn't have the energy to repair that one, actually. That surveillance mode Overseer is really quite useful. Colossus do pop out perhaps in the nick of time. It's a lot of Hydras, though, to still chew through. Overseer does die. These aren't charge lots, just looking to soak up some damage here. +2's not quite done either. Stand Thermal Lance was not even started while the base range of the Colossus was increased. So makes it more difficult to micro with.
Hey Zombie, could I ask a favor of you here?
What's that?
I got the camera back. Could I get you to give Zartov a sub and I'll pay you back? Because I have apparently locked out my credit card for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Nailed it. Super nailed it. Today I learned generosity is gonna kick me in the ass. But it's also learning, so now I know we have to be more limiting in how much we give away in the future, I guess. But thank you very much, everybody, for the little bitty bits, and I guess that's the end of the sub gifting from Base Trade for now, but I'll try and get this resolved for, of course, our next stream, and hopefully get back on the hype train. No good deed goes unpunished. That is about right. So we got some Corruptors coming out. These are going to help deal with the Colossus, but also chase down this Warp Prism, which will be nice. He's just going to see it sitting there for some time now. Thank you, Zombie Grub.
You're welcome. So Impact goes to the old standard Roach Hydra Corruptor, perhaps. This is very Wings of Liberty.
I really want Lurkers, man, but I really doubt these guys have seen the power of that new speed army yet.
They probably tried it, but I mean, that's what I was going to bring up. Is that Lurkers just, they're not used anymore. So, were they really going to try and bring it back? Because it's not about Lurkers being good with the speed upgrade. They are. It's about getting to Hive successfully.
Well, this is going to be tough for this Colossus. They're really well covered. And the War Prism bringing in army from the backside. It's only the Corruptors that can really get on top of them. And Corruptors are not going to get burst down as much as I would love to complain about Stalkers. Not with this much army on top of it, but the War Prism micro actually saves a lot of the Colossus here.
The Corruptors do come pretty fast. And Guardian Shields will help protect them as well. This might not be a win for Impact. Semi Hurricane really is the Bring Back King. Or something like that.
Bring Back King? The Comeback King?
Whatever.
Bring it back to the brink of defeat. I know what you're going for, but All right, Colossus Micro once again at a Hurricane, going to avoid a lot of these shots. He tries to hit that Warp Prism, does finally take it down, but I think this army has been cut down to size. The Colossus, even if they die here, Hurricane did so much damage.
Well, 15 drones isn't devastating. Hurricane's down 3 bases still himself.
That is true, actually.
Whole army, Impact might have just held and won the game.
Well, +3 weapons is going to be finishing up, and Impact's upgrade's kind of a bit weak, to say the least. I think you start adding in a couple charge lots to this, and this army from Hurricane doesn't need to be bigger, because it is going to be better.
Well,
also,
the finish, so it's not that bad.
While we have a bit of recoil here, thank you very much to Greyhawk for gifting a sub to Rolling Corners 1. Diasodi also comes in with 500 bits to say last of my bits until tomorrow, so you can gift more people cheering Ace da. Yeah, we couldn't do that though, because apparently I'm locked out of my credit card. And Mad Hobo King also cheered 100 bits. So, wait, did I get 3 or was it Mad Hobo? Hey, Zombie Group, can I ask one more favor?
Oh my god. Okay.
Mad Hobo King, I think we need to gift a sub to, and that'll be the last person for the day.
Alrighty then.
And I'll PayPal you the $10 after the cast. What's the sub count at? Actually, I haven't even tracked that because we've been doing so much of the giveaways. We're at 1,223 sub points out of 1,400 for the next sub emote unlock at a total of 1,167 subscribers. Yay!
Huzzah!
That's actually pretty awesome. I'm very happy that we're still floating above, well above 1,000 now. But anyways, I mentioned charge lots before. Unfortunately, though, it's still gonna take some good positioning. You can't just like move in there. But I think as units get baited off a creep and Hydras start getting on that front line, this presents an opportunity for Hurricane. He's gonna recognize this too. So a couple force fields come down, but he can't actually commit to the fights. But we got 2 different next level things happening here. We got double disruptors and that lurker den. Thank you, Zombie Group. Thank you, Mad Hobo King, for the bits as well. Sorry that this ended up getting a little bit awkward, guys. I'm locked out of PayPal and I'm locked out of credit card for the moment. It's gonna take more than a couple seconds to resolve, so I'll have to do that post stream.
Oh, this game doesn't look too great for Hurricane.
No, his army supply's in the gutter, but he does catch Impact out of position, and he'll get a base snipe for it. If he wants, he could recall. He'd have to recall right now, though. He's just going to walk away with force fields. That's not going to cut it, I don't think. Especially with the army coming down the top side, too. Missed his opportunity. A recall would have saved his army.
Yeah, now it's going to lose a ton of it.
Archon, 2 Immortals, 19 probes because of the Ling run by happened while this went on.
Well, funnily enough, Disruptor's better at dealing with Lings with that new Disruptor, I guess. Easier, anyways. A lot of probes still went down. That 4th base, not really going to be efficiently mining, something he desperately needed, as he was on 3 bases for so long, and that army supply, it really would need to be covered with some great Disruptor shots. Even if these Disruptor shots are great, it's still going to be tough, man. Like, every Disruptor gets the perfect hit, and it's still going to be like double the army supply. While this goes on, a Warp Prism does warp into the main, so there's some counter damage going on, but I am not feeling it for Hurricane. His supply is actually overall half that of Impact's now. It's not even just the army supply that's behind. The game's over. Hurricane not gonna be able to bring this back. This was the winner's match, so it means Hurricane will go to face Keen. That is not a rematch, but it is going to be difficult for Keen going up against Protoss. Hurricane really doesn't want to give up.
Nope. Shield battery doesn't even cover the Archon. Out of juice. This is the last remnants of his army. But Impact has pretty much locked it down, so he'll be moving out of the round of 16 with 2 other Zergs in that group, so that's going to be a lot of ZVZ in that group.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
GG. All right, congratulations to Impact moving on to the round of 16. Also, just going to quickly say, Chanklin in chat, you're an idiot, dude. I'm not even going to ban you or time you out. Just shame you for being stupid. But guys, we are going to move into the last best of 5 for the day. As Zombie had just mentioned, it is not a rematch, as it was Hurricane versus Jockshi earlier. So it's going to be Keen versus Hurricane for the first time, and we'll see how this goes. I'm not feeling it for Keen. Gonna be honest here.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jesse's shit talking me on chat or on Twitter about a show match. Get ready for some shiny boys. Oh god. All right, so speaking of Ting, guys, gotta give them some love. This is the Ting Open Season 4. Luckily, we've had enough people sign up with Ting each season. Usually the goal is about 30 or so to get another season of Ting, which is great. And hopefully we can do the same thing and keep Ting Season 5 and Ting Season 6 rolling and rocking. So if you guys are looking for a phone service that's a cheap alternative, maybe you're somebody who is a college student, you're on Wi-Fi all the time, you can't spend a bunch on data, yo, these services are for you. But anybody obviously can use it. Go to bttv.ting.com, check out the $25 promo link. And even if you don't buy something from their store, maybe use it on the phone bill. Either way, it's $25 in credit to use how you'd like. We're going to let Ting do some talking. Those will play some sponsored ads here, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the grand finals of the group. One last best of 5. See you guys soon.